Today we're going to be talking about how to play chords on the piano. So this is a really great way to jump into learning the piano if you are a beginner, because chords are actually very simple. It may sound a little complicated at first, but today we're going to simplify it, and I will also break down for you exactly how to play chords on the piano so that you can quickly start to improvise and play songs on your own just for fun. Today we're going to be focusing on the major triad chord. So a chord is simply a group of notes that is played together, and tri means three, so a triad chord will just be three notes that are grouped together into one chord. Now a major triad chord is made up of a specific combination of intervals between the three notes. Now an interval between notes simply means the distance between the notes. So for example, if you were to play these two notes, the interval between those two notes is called a second because they're right next to each other, but they're two notes apart. So 1, 2. You count both notes in the interval, and that is what makes up the interval. Now, if I were to do these two notes, those two notes, we want to count the distance between them, including the notes themselves. So you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that interval is known as a fourth because they're four notes apart. So a triad chord is made up of, again, three notes that are played together, and there are specific intervals apart from each other. So I'm actually going to flip the camera so that you can see my hands, and I'm going to show you exactly how to play a major triad chord. So with a major triad chord, it doesn't matter what note you start on the keyboard, you will be able to find the major triad based on that note once you've learned this little trick. So a major triad chord is made up of two different intervals. So we'll use the note C as our bass line, and then the first interval that you are going to play what is known as a major third. 1, 2, 3. So this is a major third. Now that's the really easy basic way to find the third, is just to count 1, 2, 3. But if you want to get really specific about knowing exactly what the major third is, it's even better to count it in half steps. So you want to count up 4 half steps from the note. So if you're starting on C, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 half steps, and that's going to be a major third. The second interval is between these two notes. And again, you have what is known as a third because you have 1, 2, 3 notes between these two. Now this one is not a major third though, it is a minor third. Now the way you can know that is by counting the half steps again. So from this note, you'll count up 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3. So this time, this third is only 3 half steps up instead of 4 half steps up. And that is the difference between a major third and a minor third. So then you take those two intervals, the major third and the minor third, and you put them together. Now that we've talked about this with the C chord, we can take any note and follow the exact same pattern to find what is the major triad chord. So just for the fun of it, let's just choose one of the black keys. So right here, this is A flat or G sharp. You can call it either one. Now we're going to first find what is the first interval, which is a major third. And so first we're going to count up our 4 half steps from this note. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the major third. And now from this middle note, we're going to count up for the minor third 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll put that together. 1, Once you start to get comfortable with counting the intervals between these notes and practicing them, pretty soon you're actually going to learn the sound and the feel of the major triad chord, and it will really become more second nature, and you probably will not need to count all of those half steps for very long. Now, one last thing I do want to say is that the fingering that you use can also be very helpful. So generally speaking, with your right hand, you're going to want to use finger 1, 3, and 5. So that's your thumb, your middle finger, and your fifth finger. Now in your left hand, you're going to want to do the opposite. You're going to want to do finger 5, 3, and 1. So your pinky finger, your middle finger, your thumb for the left hand. So 5, 3, 1. Once you've learned the major triad chords, you can start to put them together to do different songs, and that's a lot of fun. And in future videos, I'm going to get into more detail about how to create your own songs, how to use the different triad chords that you're learning to actually come up with a song of your own. If you enjoy this content, go ahead and give it a like down below, and you can follow my channel for much more content on how to learn the piano and how to grow from beginner to advanced on the piano.